So sorry about that. I forgot that I wasn't recording, and for your sake, you can use this when you get home. But we also have a lot of absent students. So if you know any of those four that are absent, please text them or something and let them know that go on here. Okay, so we want to make sure that those four access this because it is something that is new. So let's go back for a second so we're all on the same page. We're factoring trinomials in the form of x squared plus bx plus c. Okay? And then we talked about factoring is split into, you're taking a trinomial, splitting two binomial factors that multiply together to form the trinomial. Okay? And we'll see what that means again. And that the standard form for a trinomial is x squared, a times x squared plus bx plus c. So it looks something like x squared plus 5x plus 6, and we're going to factor that. And then we talked about what is a in this case. Well, a, we know that a is 1. So right here, a is 1. I don't know why it doesn't actually, when I press that, it doesn't say it. Okay, so anyway, a is 1, b in this case is 6, and b is 5, and c is 6. So let's do an example again. So we're multiplying to a times c. So if I take a times c, and in this case a, all of these right now, the leading coefficient is going to be 1. So we're multiplying to what, Connor?
Multiplying to
a,
C.
b, c. And we're multiplying to a times c. What is a?
A is x squared.
No.
What?
A's are the numbers. A is 1 times
30.
30. 1 times 30 is? 1 times 30 is what?
30.
30. Okay. Did you say 31?
No. I said 30.
Okay, and we are adding. We're adding to b. What is b in this case, Lauren? 13. Good. So we're adding to 13. So can anyone think of two numbers that multiply to 30 but add to 13? 10 and 3. 10 times 3 in this case is 30, and 10 plus 3 is 13. Okay? So then all we're going to do is we're going to take and put the 10 and the 3, the two numbers that add and multiply to 30 and add to 13. You're just going to put them in x plus 10 x plus 3. It's as simple as that. Okay? And those multiply, if I multiply this out, just like we have been, if we take FOIL and we take x times x is x squared, x times 3 is 3x. And this is the adding part. They add to 13. 10 times x is 10x. And we're going to combine those two in just a little bit. 10 plus 3 is 13. And then this is where they multiply to. 10 times 3 is 30. So we've got x squared plus 13x plus 30. And that's our original equation. That's what we started with. So we check our answer. So our answer in this case, the factored form of this trinomial, is x plus 10, x plus 3. Sorry, I'm in here. That's your answer. Okay, this is just checking it down here. Okay? So let's go ahead and try one here. I'm going to give you just a second, but I want you to tell me, first off, what am I multiplying to here?
1 and 24.
What am I multiplying to?
24.
Full.
24.
Good. What am I adding to? Lucas.
Oh, that's stupid. I said the right thing.
Okay, so I want you to go find two numbers that multiply to 24 and add to 10. Okay, go ahead and solve this problem. Write down your answer. Okay, give me an answer to that, Austin. Well, I know it's 4 and 6, but I want an answer. I know that it's 4 times 6 and 4 plus 6, but I want an answer here. So you're right, it is 4 and 6. So what's the answer? Okay?
The sum of x plus 6 multiplied by the sum of x plus 4.
Good. That's perfect. And then we can check to make sure that that's right. And you can start to see here, x times x is x squared. And then x times 4 is 4x. Again, this is the adding part. 6 times x is 6x. And then 6 times 4 is 24. I combine my like terms. X squared plus 10x plus 24. That checks out. So I know my answer again is x plus 6 times the sum of x plus 4. Excellent. Let's move on. And why don't you go ahead and try this one? This time, Austin, you're going to give me an answer. All right, so now we're going to go over the answer here. Austin, what did you get for your answer?
I got.
First up, hold on. I'm going to ask someone else. What are we multiplying to? What are we adding to? Joel, sit back there all quiet. I don't recognize that. Yes. Five. Well, no, what are we multiplying?
What do you mean? Oh, wait, like the A and C?
Yes, the A and C. 1 and 10, so 1 times 10 is 10. Good. And what are we adding to? 7. Good. Now, since we're adding to 10 and adding to 7 and multiplying to 10, what's our answer, Austin?
Our answer is x plus 5 times x plus 2.
X plus 5 times x plus 2. In this case, we are multiplying to 10, so 5 times 2 is 10. 5 plus 2 is 7. And if we want to, we can check that answer. And like if you're taking a test, that would probably be a pretty obvious time to check your answer. Sometimes you have like 50 homework problems. I don't expect it, but all right, go ahead and do this one. I'll give you how about 30 seconds?
Yeah. I got it. I volunteered. I actually wasn't. This is ridiculous.
Sam, you gotta speak to us.
All right, so that was first. I know that 6 times 3 is 18. 6 plus 3 is 9. So then we're gonna take get it multiplied out. So that's x plus 3 times. Maybe I'll make some more space there. Times x plus 6. Multiply that out, so x squared plus 6x equals 3, which is plus 3x, then plus 18. So then we combine like terms, and we've got x squared plus 9x plus 18. I'm gonna stop.
Yep, just press pause. Okay, so here's your next problem. Okay, so if you wanted to solve this at home, go ahead and try by pressing pause, and in just a moment, we're going to start. Okay, cool. Go ahead and solve this one for us.
Alright,
Can you tell us what you're multiplying to and adding to before you actually show the answer?
I'm multiplying to 12. I'm adding to 7.
Why?
Because this is our C, and that's our A. And it's
What's your C? What is our C?
12 is our C, and 1's our A, and that's 12, and then 7's our B, and so we have to add to get our B with the 7, and multiply to get 12.
Okay.
Okay. And then, so, when you do the X thing, wait, is 7 on top of that?
So what does multiply to 12 and add to 7? Just write it over on the other, in the little T chart there.
Alright. So, 3 and 4.
3 times 4.
And 3, 5.
Good. So 3 and 4 are your numbers here. They're both positive, so go ahead and write your answer.
Alright.
Okay, Cole, if you could press the next page for us.
What is that at?
Yes. And hold off there for 1 minute. And if you're attempting this at home, go ahead and press pause. We'll be back to solve it in a minute.
Fully pause.
All right, let's go ahead and solve this problem. Jared, what are we multiplying to here?
We're gonna multiply to 1 and negative 32.
Okay, good. And what does 1 times negative 32 equal?
Negative 32.
Okay, so we're multiplying to negative 32. What are we adding to here, Jared?
Negative 4.
Negative 4. Good. So what then multiplies to negative 32 and adds to 4? Negative 4.
Negative 8 and positive 4.
Okay. And notice you could have done 8 times negative 4. 8 times negative 4 still equals negative 32, but it doesn't add to negative 4. That would have added to positive 4. But we're not adding to positive 4, we're adding to negative 4. So now, Jared, go ahead and write down the answer for us. And good. And sometimes on these you may need to check them. I don't know if we need to right here, but yes, x minus 8 or x negative 8 times x positive 4. And can you press pause for us?
Yeah.
We'll be back after these.
I'll be back.
Okay.